Where's your skeleton watch, Saul? You didn't bring a skelly?
Holy fuck. Welcome back to Watch Cringe, episode 24. I'm Brendan, and who do we have?
I'm Josh.
I'm Saul.
I got the B team with me.
Hey.
Let's do a quick wrist check before we get into the episode. Josh, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm rocking the Kadoke Flieger concept today. Another awesome community kickback for me. So keeping with the theme of the Explorer. It's an awesome watch. Shout out to Banu. Great guy.
Is there a wiener on the back?
No wiener on this Kadoke.
Not a real Kadoke.
Did you buy that from Banu?
I did.
Nice.
Super surprised he even sold it to me.
Well, he got the one with the cock and balls on it, right?
His is nice, dude.
He went with the big dick energy.
Black dial.
And what do you have, Saul?
Don't touch my watch. I'm wearing my Nomos Tangente Neomatic 35 millimeters.
Holy shit, that's a name.
It's about 4 years old now, so it's still kicking, but probably service it soon. Get it serviced. Yeah.
Nice.
On a collar red brown strap.
Yeah, I like it.
Gravel looking. I don't know.
Very nice.
It's small, but it's the opposite of both of y'all's watches.
Yes, and I got a big honkin' Oris Pro Pilot X skeleton dial.
Honk.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'll give you $2,500.
You sound like 10, man.
Shit, this is full titanium. I think the materials alone are worth about $4.
Okay, $2,600.
$4.
$4. So this episode, we are going to talk about watch regrets, things that we've done that we regret, like maybe selling a watch or buying a watch or doing something that got you in trouble. And we're gonna go.
That only applies to one person here.
We're gonna go. We're gonna bring 3 of these stories to you so you can laugh and enjoy it. Saul, you want to go first? Kick us off.
Sure. I'll start kind of with the shared regret that Josh and I have. We were, just for some background, I typed mine up on a little notepad before we started recording. Josh gets here late, of course, and with Starbucks, not for himself, not for any of us. And then he starts typing on his notepad the exact same thing I have for my first regret, which is not buying a Ming 1901. And I think specifically, we haven't talked about this, but I think specifically you're probably talking about the used one that was up for sale for like $6,000 or something.
I'm thinking
4 years back.
Just one in general,
man.
Yeah. Like I went back and forth on it. And, like Chris was like the same way. It's one of those things like, we knew like Ming was good and like we really liked the design, but it was like, that was a new category for
It was like 9,000 retail.
Yeah. And that was a new category for them. And it was like, is this really going to be as good as the others?
It was their second watch ever. After the 1701, they come out with this $9,000 crazy double barrel, behemoth of a cool watch.
Is that the World Timer?
No, the World Timer
1902
was the same, sort of type of like kind of scheme, I guess.
Same movement, just replacing one barrel with a micro rotor.
I would have really liked to probably get the World Timer, but I don't like that it's a function. But yeah, you couldn't see it, and like it seemed like something that was going to stick around, and then like all of a sudden they're like, hey, they're gone.
Yeah.
And now like they don't show up used. They hardly ever do. There's the one that Saul was talking about on like one of the forums.
It was like 3 or 4 years ago.
For a good price too, right?
3,000 under retail is what it went for.
But now they
and it
don't.
just sat there. You think?
Oh yeah, this guy dropped the price a ton.
Oh my
but
God.
now they don't show up. Like that's probably one of the only ones that showed up. I did a quick like Chrono 24 and some of the forum searches, and like I didn't see I might have saw one 1901 for like 11 or 12,000.
10,950.
There's someone trying to sell one of the World Timers on Chrono 24 for like 24.
Jesus. And retail on that was like
seems
11 or 12.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's so special about this one? Is it the dial or something?
The movement is great. The dial is great. That's the movement.
Yeah, the dial's pretty cool. The movement is really the biggest thing.
And it's also, I think, 38 or 39 millimeters, which is awesome for that.
It's just a shame like no one had a chance to like check them out in the battle. I think they did like one trip to like New York, but they're small enough that like that's not necessarily something they can do. They can't really do the road shows like some of the other folks.
They're coming back to New York.
Are they?
Yeah. I don't know when, but they're coming.
So, that was a bummer. It was one thing that I kept kind of like racking my brain. It was like, it was too much as something to just kind of risk and pull the trigger on.
So there's no dial to it.
Well, it's just like a sapphire kind of ghosted gray. It's almost like a fume on a sapphire crystal.
The edges, you can see the
The top of the movement.
that's pretty cool.
Somebody's trying to sell a 1901 for 25 on Chrono.
Oh
24.
my god, it's probably the guy that bought
I
it for
didn't see that one
it's probably for the guy that bought it for $6,000 off the
Yeah.
Watch You Seek or
Gotta
whatever.
make out 4 times.
Crazy, but that's probably the only one on the market right now.
It's that watch is sweet. Definitely. I mean, at the time, I just couldn't afford it. I was like, fucking $6,000 on a watch. That's insane.
So did you guys buy that Mosaic one that came out recently?
Kind of wish I did.
Blacklisted from Corona, getting doxxed and getting blacklisted from Corona.
Entire series of
you gotta-
events.
It's
so
great.
funny.
You gotta get people in on the details.
Yeah, I will, because I haven't told this story before, because for a while I didn't know if I was actually blacklisted or not. So this is the story.
Did you email them and confirm that you
I
are
did.
blacklisted?
I
I didn't
emailed.
even know that.
Yes. So this is the saga of me getting blacklisted from Corona. So and this is the first Corona I bought, and it was the Grand Hagane, which was basically like the brown green type of dial that looks like the Akane. And so I bought it, I got it, and with these you can't like return them, right? So you're like stuck with them. There's final sale. So I got it, and honestly, the dial came in really, really dark, and the handset was just, I couldn't tell the time properly because it's the hands are so similar in size and shape. And it was kind of just annoying me. So I said, fuck this, I'm going to sell this and I can make a profit off of it because these things flip. So I go on the internet, and the retail was around like 32, and people were asking like $6,000, $5,000 on the various forums. So my regret is using my Reddit account, because my Reddit account was easily tied back to my name, like who I actually am. So I posted it on Reddit, got instantly like downvoted bombed on my post, and people giving like hate messages and comments. And this one particular individual had made a new like burner account on Reddit. And he actually, you know what? I think I might still have the message. I can probably read it. Let me see if I can pull that up, because that message was wild. I woke up to this message like the next day at like, I don't know, like 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's the first thing I
Yeah, you
read.
sent me a screenshot of it saying like, bro, I think I got doxxed.
It was
Yeah.
great.
It was so bear with me for a second. We can edit this pause out.
Go get a hot dog, popcorn, whatever you need to
Hot
do.
dog. Why do you start with hot dog?
Do.
Let's just put the yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I can't find it, so I'm just gonna paraphrase. So
We're gonna cut all that out. So
we're gonna
just so
cut.
y'all know,
No,
this
we're gonna
guy
leave
spent-
all of that in.
this
That
guy
was
spent
10 minutes.
15 minutes looking for a fucking message on Reddit.
Okay.
This is gonna be a bad episode. We're padding it with 10 minutes of fucking
empty
silence.
silence.
space. So, okay, back to my story.
Nah.
I posted it on Reddit. The next day I woke up 7 o'clock in the morning. I look at my phone, and there's a message from a burner account, and it says, Brendan Ledoux, why did you buy a watch and try to sell it when you knew very well that that was against the rules? You have been reported to Corona, and you will be banned and never be able to buy their watches again. And at first I thought it was someone from the group that was fucking with me. So I went around asking and like sending a message. I sent a message to Saul, to Josh, to Jay, and I was like, guys, what do I do here? I think someone actually doxed me. I don't know. Is it one of you guys? Like, what the hell? So I went through my entire Reddit account, and I found that like 3 years ago, I had posted like a survey form in Google, and it used my email address, which had my name in it. And I was like, this is how the motherfucker got me. Oh, and also he was flaunting. He's like, the message was like, oh, if you're going to sell something you're not supposed to sell, you should at least hide your information on your Reddit account. he was like fucking flaunting that I was like so bad at.
But he totally had to scrape the barrel to even find.
You could have just said,
Yeah,
I don't
right?
care.
He was like, oh, it took me less than 5 minutes to find out who you were. I was like, what the fuck? This guy's a psycho. And I thought he might be bluffing. So when I found out it was no one in the group, I was like, okay, this guy is bluffing. He didn't really fuck with me. I'm just going to keep quiet about this, not say anything to anyone. And I'll just try to buy their next watch. So like, I think like 6 months later, the Shiro gets announced. It's like the white chronograph. And I get up early in the morning and I place an order and it goes through. I see the charge on like my credit card because the authorization thing comes through. At the end of the day, like 8 hours later, I get a message that my order has been canceled and I've been refunded. So I go to their Instagram and they're like, oh, we like oversold watches or something like that. The system was messed up. And I thought, oh, okay, I was just a casualty of that. And then I go and I check I think they have an update on their website at some point where you can go and check the warranty status on the watch. And it looks like it's not valid anymore. So I reach out to them about the order, about the warranty. And they're like, no, like you were caught. And I was like, the motherfucker actually doxed me and reported me. I'm actually banned.
Busted.
Yeah, I got busted.
Can you just use Mars's info?
She won't let me. She said, no, I'm not letting you use my info to buy a watch.
They may also fuck with your. They probably already know your address too.
Ship it to my house. I won't give it to you.
Yeah, so now my dad, I don't know, I might have to use him, but I think the last name is too unique. They might know. And he's in Massachusetts though.
Yeah.
If you guys are willing to, you know what? Fuck that watch anyways. That watch sucks.
Now they're gonna ban your dad.
Yeah.
Shit. That fucking guy's been watching our listening to our podcast. Finally. Yeah. So that's the saga. And yeah, it was the way I took it was a free, like, you know, people pay like security services to try to crack their identity online.
Yeah.
So I got some guy to do that for me for free. And I used a scrubber tool. It's like it like overwrites every post and comment you have and then deletes them because there's like the old cached Reddit. I forgot what the website is called.
Wayback Machine.
Wayback, yeah. And so like you have to make sure you scrub and then delete. If you just delete, you're fucked. So I scrubbed and deleted, but now all my like watch you seek posts are filled with random like strings of characters. So people think I'm a fucking
You're a bot. Dude.
Yeah, people think I'm like a bot or like a scammer or something.
I mean, you are.
Ding ding ding.
Scammer, not bot.
Ding 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 ding. I don't know what to do for that voice effect.
Same noise.
Ding 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 ding.
Very nice.
So anyways, we're going to go to Josh next.
Okay, this is another another one that probably kind of a thing I missed out on, and I'm a sucker for skeleton watches kind of deal, and one of the ones that I was really thinking about it intrigued for a while because you used to be able to get them pretty good deals, kind of used in secondhand. It's the Gerard Perregaux Laureato skeleton.
What color? Steel?
It's just the steel skeleton one. Like the skeletonized movement they do is really good. Looks really good. Those Laureatos, they fit pretty well on most folks. So it's an awesome watch. You used to be able to find them for like 15 grand or so. If back when I was seeing that, I probably would have had to like sell one or two things or just load up a credit card or something stupid like that. But like, you know, really good deal. Like they retailed for like, I think like 20, a little over 20 or so. And like you could get them cheap. And then when we were in Chicago for Wind Up, we went to the Vacheron boutique.
Where? The Vacheron boutique?
The Vacheron
boutique.
And
Without me?
They had a bitchin' used collection in the back.
Dude, it was insane.
But they had a Laureato skeleton, so I checked it out and I was like, "Whoa, what do you guys?" And I looked at the tag, and it said like, what did it say, like 30 something or 40 grand or something stupid.
Oh god.
For this steel Gerard Perregaux
Timepiece gentleman, man. He
that,
tried to
like,
pump and dump those things.
God.
He did. He's like, "Oh, GP's the next AP, bro."
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, he was like just buying tons of them and trying to like just mark them up.
But the
Trying
prices,
to do what Watchbox did to Jorn, and I mean, that didn't happen.
He was trying to do a watch box?
No, nothing.
All right.
Move on.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. We're
Sounds
gonna
like
have
you
to
were part
dive
of
into
this.
this later.
Yeah, it sounds like you were part of the scam.
Scam.
Is that why you watch
Ding, 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 ding,
the fucking
Tim,
Watchbox
Mosso, Tim,
videos?
Mosso, Tim. I love Tim, dude.
We got to get that guy on the show.
Get Tim and Jack
Yeah.
Forster on
Yeah,
Watch Cringe.
Papa Jack.
Papa Jack's at
He's
Watchbox.
at Watchbox. But apparently Tim Mosso, he can remember the weather on any date.
Of
really-
course. Have you
that's
seen him,
weird,
dude?
man.
Just
That's
look at that
fucking
guy.
bizarre.
He's awesome.
Super weird. The day when GPs went through the roof, it was cloudy. 67 degrees.
Humidity was at 20%.
For breakfast, I had six
those-
bowls of Kellogg's.
Those things cost a shitload now, and it makes no
A
fucking
shitload now?
sense. Dude, they're like 35, 40 grand.
So looks like
It
Timepiece Gentleman
TPG
was
was right.
I don't know, man.
He was right.
Tuggy,
you
Tugger
could have
Tony.
made out like a king,
Oh,
dude.
I know.
You would
I
have
know.
had Cartier like calling you to see what type of jewelry.
Yeah,
you
I would
want
have
made.
I would have sold that shit right away and bought the fucking
The Santo skeleton. Yeah. That
Oh,
thing.
there you go. That would have been a great.
That's one of
move.
the best skeleton watches out there.
So, what do you think right now is potentially undervalued?
Undervalued?
Yeah, something like that, like something
Dude,
that
I
people
think
don't.
I really think, I like Breguet a lot, but I really do also think like some of them are undervalued. Like the traditions, you can get the earlier versions for like 12 to 13 grand for an 18 karat gold skeletonized Breguet that is 37 millimeters, so it wears great, and it's just so cool.
And it's only 12 at this point.
Yeah, you can get them for 12.
I agree with that. There's a lot of Breguet stuff that you can get pretty cheap, especially like secondhand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the way for sure, secondhand.
And it's just sort of, I guess people have kind of forgot about it, or that style is just not in. But I mean, they're awesome, beautiful watches.
That's something I feel like they're actually worth the sticker price too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of brands that like I like Hublot, but I don't think they're worth the retail price. But Breguet I feel like is worth the sticker price. They just also lose a lot secondhand.
Who has better like sort of brand cachet and story than Breguet?
Dude,
Like
fuck
no
yeah.
one,
Nobody.
no one. Like not Patek,
Not AP,
not
yeah.
AP. Like Breguet is the ultra high end timekeeping thing, and it has been for longer than everyone else.
Mm-hmm. They're just not in right now, but that's sweet.
There's not
for us.
enough Instagram posts with them, I think.
Yeah,
That's probably what it is.
give me one for free. I'll start posting. I'll get about 14 likes.
So let's go back around. Were you finished on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back around to Saul now. You want to talk about something related to Breguet, don't you?
Do I? Oh, yeah. I regret not purchasing on the Moda Club, I guess probably like a year and a half ago. Somebody was selling 10 Daniel Roth mid-sized chronographs that were clearly like window display models with like sun bleached straps, but he was selling them for 1.6K each, which was like stupid cheap. I mean, like they don't go for a lot anyways, but I
think usually they go for like 22, right?
I think that was the only other comp I could find.
So
And-
even below
Yeah,
the
these were
used market.
These were technically like brand new. They were just sitting in a window, so they had messed up straps. But I mean, 1600.
Straps are nothing. You just get
Oh, yeah. I just love the case shape, the hand like kind of counterbalance shape that they have. Everything just seems really cohesive and fits well together. But yeah, 1600. He said all 10 sold in under 5 minutes.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, his style is very interesting because it's he was one of the watchmakers that helped reboot like Breguet into like a wristwatch brand, and so that's why it's like similar styling,
Yeah.
But the case shape is very different. It's
It
like
is.
kind of a
It's not too
square, and the top and the bottom are like
rounded.
curved. Yeah, so
I like it a lot. It feels almost futuristic, like in a weird way to me. Not like Ming futuristic though, like kind of like classical futuristic. It's really neat.
like what people thought the future would look like back in the 50s.
Something like that. Yeah. Like Ming, I feel like is what people feel like the future looks like now. But yeah, I mean 1600, man. I should have bought one. I saw it like at 10 minutes after we posted it, so they were already all gone. But it was sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any comments on that, Josh? Anything you want to chime in on?
I mean,
that?
that's we were talking about stuff like that's. I think like I feel like the Daniel Roth stuff is about to have a renaissance too, because I've seen more and more people online, on Instagram and stuff posting on some of these things. I could see that as well. Might be why those went so fast.
You can get some of those white gold, like what are they? The retrogrades for like $9,000 on eBay, something like that. I think Parmigiani's going to go through something similar, maybe, if they can get those Tondas. I think Tonda's the one.
Parmigiani's just a little. There's always something that seems kind of off about a lot of them, though.
I would agree until the modern ones. The modern Tondas are pretty fucking crazy.
Well, everyone that I when I asked that question, I think a resounding similar answer that everyone gives is Cartier. Cartier is burning hot slowly.
They always are, though. They're always the hot. They're always the hot item, and maybe not in like the watch circle watch community because they're such a big, kind of big L luxury brand. But I feel like they always have been, and maybe they're leaning into the watch stuff a little bit more. But you always are gonna like it. You can't throw a stick without hitting somebody with a tank on their wrist. You know what I mean? Like you see those things everywhere.
I love the Solar Beat. That thing is awesome. I think it's $2,800 retail, but it's just like a solar tank instead of quartz. Yeah. Well, obviously quartz, but solar powered.
Doesn't get its time from space though.
Doesn't. Gets its power from space though.
Okay. For me, my next regret. The thing is, it's a necessary regret to have, because if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have got the chance to purchase the Pepsi.
Or hang out with us.
Or hang out with you guys. So the story goes that I finally got invited to the group when I bought a Rolex Datejust.
Ugliest Datejust ever.
And it was a two-tone, smooth bezel, Jubilee, stick dial, champagne stick.
41 millimeter.
I paid like $14,300 or something out the door. So I bought it. But then I got to see the group that day. I remember I picked it up and then I showed Steven from Dufresne. He's like, oh, you should come by and show it off. And that's when I met all y'all.
Dude,
that was the same day?
The same day.
Oh.
He probably saw that watch and he was like, this kid needs help.
Can't be left alone.
Well, I appreciate him helping me because it did help. And when I met Jay connected me to and you were there, Josh, remember?
Yeah.
And you remember the conversation. So he
a peek behind the curtain.
A peek behind the curtain. They had this new brand. They wanted to make a big name for the brand. They're called Norcane.
Kane Gang.
Kane Gang. And they were like, yeah, man, if you want to buy this Norcane, it would really help us out. We get all this like bonus incentives for selling it, and you'd be the first, and you'd make an impression on who allocates the Pepsis. Yeah, store manager. And I was like, okay. Then very next day, I went in and picked up a Norcane. Also have lost thousands on that as well.
Did you go in like the minute they opened?
No, lunchtime, because I had to wait for Andrew.
Shortly after
I was there when you bought that.
I need to get that Norcane before someone else does.
I was there when you bought that, and distinctly remember you not getting the boxer warranty.
When I got the Norcane, they didn't have all of the materials, the box and stuff, so they just gave me a Rolex coffin, one of those like plastic coffins.
Plastic,
and I was like,
shipped in.
Thank you.
So those things, there's somebody now, and I don't remember like what it's called or where, which is probably for the better because they don't need like any credit. But there's somebody now who's trying to sell Rolex style coffin.
Are you serious?
Cases. Yeah. So I saw I got some random targeted Instagram ad for someone selling those stupid like plastic Rolex.
I still have one from.
What I don't understand. Why would you, for traveling? Or?
I have no idea. I mean, they're good little things for like stashing stuff away, but it's hilarious that someone's probably like, oh, I can buy this from some like, Alibaba distributor that's probably the same place Rolex gets them.
And just trying to.
I'm gonna say it's Rolex like and get some fucking suckers with too much money.
People do that with their hats too. The Rolex hats.
Dude,
they ask like $80, right?
No, like $100.
It's ridiculous. Shit. A Rolex hat, man.
I have one.
How much did you pay for it?
Free.
From where?
Where I got my Milgas.
None of them want to give me any swag.
Hey, I
got a cool Tudor carrying pouch. From
they didn't give me shit.
58.
We actually have a funny story when they did a whiskey event. So I show up, I'm looking, I say, hey, I'm in the market for potentially getting like an engagement ring
for me,
for Saul. And one of the guys there is like, sure, what's your budget? And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm comfortable with. And that would be this range at this top of the range would be absolute stretching it.
Did he tell you to go to Jared?
The dude comes back with double my stretch budget.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And I mean, it was a gorgeous ring, but
it was definitely double your budget.
It was double my stretch budget.
That's the classy way to tell you to leave.
Yeah. But hey, they brought out a rainbow Daytona. That was sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Some customer had it there.
Almost started running, dude.
It would have been worth getting almost shot for. And so yeah, that's my regret, but it's a necessary regret because
sold it for a loss.
Yeah, so I sold the date just for a loss, which honestly it was a good deal still because the dealer that I sold it to, I think he broke even off of what I gave it to him for because I needed the money to buy the Pepsi, and there's no way I was gonna have a Josh event where you get offered a Rolex with no purchase history because for a Pepsi, I mean that's a different ball game. You don't get those without.
And what kind of bracelet did you want on the Pepsi?
I won a Jubilee.
And what'd you get?
Oyster.
You should have told him you wanted oyster.
Yeah, maybe.
Jubilee? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think
Then
that
you
would
would
have
have
worked.
got a Submariner.
I think I.
The easiest modern Rolex to get.
All right, so Josh, back to you, my friend.
All right, so I think with this next one, I'll go with it's really kind of like the classic thing that I feel like a lot of people do this. So like when I bought and I love the watch is great, but when I bought my Buckley dial Datejust, I was super new to the game and whatever, and I got it off of Chrono24. The price wasn't too bad, but I definitely like in retrospect could have haggled it down a bit. I also didn't really like ask all the right questions and stuff because like when I got it, it had to get serviced. I bought the thing and I probably could have got it for a few $100 less, and then like I basically had to turn around and spend like $600 on a service because there was I don't remember like what issues there were with it in the movement. Like there was a couple things. I think the connection for like the winding rotor was kind of jacked up and a couple other things. So like kind of like all the classic like rookie mistakes, like you gotta ask a bunch of questions, you gotta like fight with people.
I bet that seller was very happy.
Probably
he bagged you.
Probably. But you know what? Like, for me, it's like that particular like Buckley that I have. Like, it's one of the best Buckley dials that I've seen. The handset looks probably as good as it's ever going to look. It matches the dial perfectly. The case is in pretty good shape, and it had like everything I wanted. It ticked all the boxes. So it's like the dial and the handset, which are the centerpiece, are like perfect. I wanted that engine turn bezel on there because I like that it's kind of funky. I wanted an oyster bracelet for it. And so it's kind of like
it's the original.
It came up and it ticked almost every box.
Do you know if it's the original or it's the matching bracelet for that?
It looks like it is. Dude, that bracelet was like so stretched out and just like, it was like crusty.
Oh yeah.
And like somebody
wrist cheese all encrusted in there.
Like patina, baby.
Those old like Rolex bracelets, they have I love those things. People hate them. Like the little tin can, Pepsi can clasps and everything. Fucking love them. I think they're great.
We have to line it up to close it. You can't just
you have
to be like, wait.
Why is this not catching?
They have like 8 little like quick adjust like pin position things in them, and someone totally went like all the way to the last one, so it covered like 3 links. So like the second link has this big crease in it from somebody who just like instead of getting the bracelet size, they just like
clamp that micro adjusted the shit out of it.
So there's like, and somebody wore the shit out of the watch because it's like the band has like little worn out parts in it from where they was scraping on the clasp.
So did you go back to the seller and say, hey man, I had to spend all this money on a service? Did you try to haggle for more money?
No. This ship has sailed, right? But
I actually have a similar story where I bought a watch. Do you know that Zodiac that I bought, the Worn and Wound limited edition?
Yeah.
So I bought that watch and I didn't look closely enough to the pictures.
Bought it used.
I bought it used. And so the guy had mostly stock photos, but they look like it was a confusing post, but he had a few photos of the actual watch, and everything looked good. I was like, it's a good price. I talked him down from like $300 or whatever, from like 16 to 13, and so actually it might have been even $400 to talk him down. But basically, I got it. I was like, oh, it's a good price, and I got it. And when I opened it up, I realized there was like this big gash in the pip. Jay like goaded me into asking him like for something off. I was like, all right, fuck it, this would be funny.
Give me money back.
So I was like, dude, like I didn't notice this thing, and you had stock photos. Do you think you could help put money towards getting a replacement bezel? Blah blah blah. And the guy is like, sure, and he gave me $100 back. So I got it for $1,200.
It's never gonna happen again.
Nice.
That was nice.
Is it still under warranty? Because that just came out, right?
That came.
Oh, they're not going to warranty.
I don't think they
bezel.
would. Yeah, you're not going to warranty. And I actually reached out to Mike from Zodiac. I was like, hey, can I actually buy like a bezel? And he was like, basically no, because it's a special bezel. It's like.
So they don't have a stock though of replacements.
They may, but I don't think they just like give it out. Yeah. Like they don't want that shit floating around, I think.
But you could like.
I could send it in for service. Yeah, if I send it in for service, maybe. But like, I'm not going to pay.
If we go see them in like Dallas, you could be like, dude, can you just replace the bezel for me?
Yeah.
And I'll pay you whatever.
Yeah, I'll give you something quick.
But he's a married man. Jeez, Brendan.
Hey, that's the part of the allure. But yeah. So, Saul.
Yeah, I guess my last real regret was selling my Reverso, which at the time I thought
remember
was
that
good.
one.
Yeah,
you made money off of it though,
yeah,
right?
I did.
You did not have that very long.
No,
he had that for like a week.
No, it was like 2 or 3 weeks.
Sorry, you had that forever.
Yeah. No, I mean it's every picture I look at it, I'm like, oh man, it looks great on my wrist, but I felt like it was just a little too small for me. But all the pics were like, man, it looks perfect. Let me see the pics. But I sold it because
that is actually a good size.
I eventually landed on like if I want one Reverso, I want a duo face Reverso, just because that thing is insane. You can get them for, at least on Moda, everybody's favorite, most reliable source to buy watches. You can get, dude, somebody listed like a solid gold 18 karat gold duo face for like 7 or 8, which was insane.
Wow, that's a scam.
Yeah, no, that is a scam.
I don't know, man. Maybe. I didn't buy it, so I didn't get scammed.
I feel like that's like what the steel one would go for.
Steels, I think you can get for like 4 or 5.
Even the dual face?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I sold mine for like 3, and mine was like a little manual wine, tiny thing. But I really like that case shape, that Reverso case shape. It's such a neat design that you don't really see much anymore, outside of obviously the modern Reversos.
Sometimes they get a little thick. Like
they do.
Some of especially like
the
some of the dual
would,
face
because they got to put a second dial and handset in there and all that stuff.
Yep. This one was pretty thin.
And does dual face work like you can set the 2 different time zones?
There's a pusher on the top to adjust one of them. I think I don't know if it's on the top or on the side or both, because I've seen a couple of different versions, but they've made it for a little while, so there's a plethora.
It's weird because when you were wearing that, I thought it was small on your wrist, but when I look at those photos,
that's what I'm saying. Like in person, it felt smaller than the pictures made.
The pictures are weird. I would go with gut feel.
So I probably did
You probably did a good
the
move.
right thing selling it, but I want another Reverso eventually. They're really cool.
Okay.
How about you, Bren?
For me, what's my last regret? I think for me being born and breathing. Like right now, I'm regretting breathing.
It sucks.
I went through a phase of buying like random bullshit watches on eBay that were like vintage and like cost me $100
like
or
the Pepsi.
Yeah, like the Pepsi, like the fake Pepsi. And then I bought like, just like cheap shit because I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's like $100 or $200 and you get it. And, there's not really any good story about the watch. I was just kind of like fucking around. And you end up learning what you like that way, but at the same time you kind of have a bunch of junk in your house laying around.
Yeah, because you can't, like, if you get rid of it, you're still really losing out.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and I think Saul had the same problem, but instead of selling, he has all his junk in the treasure chest. Yeah.
Yeah, I know one guy
old
who's got like
Seikos.
drawers full of like just random shit that he's bought over the years.
I don't like that type of clutter in a watch box, you know. Just
I feel like I'm almost at that point a little bit because like for a while, especially like early on, I was like buying a whole bunch of like Prospects divers and stuff, which I liked and I still like. Like part of me had like this like, oh, I want to get like a different Prospects diver every case shape or whatever.
yeah.
And
Ultimate collector.
That's just too much stuff to have though.
Ultimate collector. Dude. It's true. I mean, yeah, some of those like this. I had a Save the Ocean Seiko, and it was awesome. But then you don't wear it like enough to justify keeping it. So
their real purpose now is like
you want to buy mine?
no,
You still haven't sold it?
No.
But the real thing is like you put them in a watch box like out in the open and fill it full of that stuff, and those are your bait watches.
So did we go around all the way?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got a Ming 1901 for $6K they want to sell me? Hit me up before Josh.
If you
I can't buy anything, so you can have
That's true.
After listening to this, if you want to write what your watch regret is on our Instagram post for this episode,
Just keep it to yourself. We don't want to hear it.
please do so. Yeah, that's it. You guys want to actually our sponsor, I think, is Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, yeah. I think
BBBY.
that's your sponsor.
BBBY, that's my sponsor. Thank you. Actually, I sponsored them this week. And
no, you sponsored the big banks.
yeah, I sponsored Ryan Cohen. All right, so let's do a little ASMR. Who had the windy?
Kadoke.
We're gonna hit you guys with the winding action for the dickless Kadoke Flieger concept.
All right, folks, it's been great. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Later, y'all.